so get this. Apple TV Plus is almost on Android. Keyword, almost. See, they're not releasing a standalone app like you'd think, like you'd expect. This isn't a simple download and done situation. It's a partnership with Amazon. And that's where things get interesting for anyone who streams, which, let's face it, is everyone these days.
It's a fascinating move. On the surface, it seems like a win-win. Android users have been wanting a decent Apple TV Plus app, and Apple gets access to a massive new audience. But the how, that's what's got people talking.
Right. Because we're not just talking about tech here. We're talking about the future of how we consume entertainment. This is about the big players battling it out for our attention and our subscription fees. So for anyone who loves a good drama, even if you're not usually glued to tech news, this deep dive is for you.
Absolutely. The news broke just this week from our friends at 9 to 5 Google. Apple TV Plus is coming to Prime Video as an add-on. No official price yet. But whispers are saying it'll likely be the standard, $9.99 a month.
Okay, so it's like adding another channel to your Prime subscription, which, let's be honest, a lot of us already have. So on the one hand, it's convenient. But this means going through Amazon to watch Ted Lasso on your Android phone. What kind of implications does that have?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And this is where Apple's famous control freak tendencies really come into play. They're notoriously protective of their ecosystem, iPhones, Apple TVs, the whole shebang. Partnering with Amazon like this, instead of releasing their own app, is a calculated risk.
See, this is what I find fascinating. They're basically saying, okay, Android users, you can have our content, but on our terms. Makes you wonder if they're playing the long game here, maybe using this partnership as a stepping stone to something big.
Exactly. And it'll be interesting to see how much control Amazon leverages in this deal. They're not just providing platform. They're potentially gathering valuable data on what Apple TV Plus content performs well, what viewers are watching, how long they're watching for.
Whoa, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a goldmine of information that Amazon could then use to inform their own content strategy. Imagine Amazon creating their own version of Severance based on Apple TV Plus viewing data. Talk about a plot twist.
It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
On the one hand, it could lead to more shows and movies we love, tailored to our viewing habits. On the other hand, it raises questions about data privacy and who ultimately benefits from all this information. Are we really just products in the streaming wars?
Okay, now you're making me think twice about hitting play on anything. But seriously, this whole data gathering thing is huge. It's like, remember when we used to buy DVDs? No one knew what we watched, except maybe the cashier judging our choices at the checkout.
And even then, it was just one data point. Now, every pause, every rewind, every episode binged is tracked and analyzed. And this partnership gives Amazon a unique window into the viewing habits of Apple TV Plus subscribers, a demographic they might not otherwise have. Such detailed insights into...
It's like giving your rival a peek at your playbook. So, if Amazon is potentially winning here, by scooping up all this data, where does that leave Apple? They're getting their content in front of Android users? Sure. But at what cost?
It's a trade-off. They've clearly calculated short-term gain. For potential long-term risk, they're betting on the strength of their content to win over Android users, even within the Prime Video ecosystem.
And let's be real, Apple TV Plus does have some seriously good stuff. Ted Lasso alone has won over half my family members. But here's the thing. If I'm an Android user who gets hooked on Apple TV Plus through Prime Video, am I really going to switch to a standalone app later on, even if Apple does release one?
That's the billion-dollar question now. Isn't it? Apple's banking on brand loyalty, hoping that once people experience their content, they'll be willing to follow them wherever it goes.
It's a gamble for sure. It makes you wonder, where do we, the viewers, fit into all of this? Are we just pawns in this high-stakes game of streaming chess?
We're not powerless, that's for sure. Our viewing choices have a ripple effect. Every subscription, every canceled free trial sends a message. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to navigate this fragmented streaming landscape.
You're telling me I feel like I need a flow chart just to figure out which service has what show. And now we're adding another layer of complexity with these partnerships.
This Apple-Amazon deal could be a sign of things to come. What if this becomes the norm? Instead of individual streaming apps, we end up with a handful of mega platforms, each offering a smorgasbord of content from different providers.
So instead of flipping through Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV Plus, we're scrolling through different channels within Amazon Prime. Or dare I say it, a resurrected cable-like package.
It's not entirely outside the realm of possibility. We've already seen a resurgence of bundled services in recent years. The question is, will this consolidation lead to a better experience for viewers? Or will it just be the same old cable TV song and dance with a shiny new streaming wrapper?
It's like we're going back to the future.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We fought so hard to ditch cable and its endless bundles. And now here we are, potentially circling back to a similar model. Is this progress or just a different flavor of frustration?
I think it speaks to that paradox of choice. We say we want options, we want control, but then too much of it.
Yeah.
And it becomes overwhelming.
Right, and that's where these companies, they see an opening. They're like, people are tired of thinking.
So they swoop in with, hey, we'll think for you.
Okay.
Here's the bundle.
Ooh.
But is that really what we want long term? Do we have any say in this?
I don't think we're powerless. Our choices, what we watch, what we don't, that sends a message.
But it feels like every time you turn around, there's a new merger, new streaming service.
True, but don't underestimate word of mouth. You telling a friend, hey, this show's amazing. That has power.
It's like we're voting with our eyeballs every time we hit play.
Exactly. So be conscious of your choices. Ask yourself, is this partnership, this bundle, actually good for me?
Not just blindly signing up, because it's the path of least resistance. Right. Think about, am I okay with how my data is being used? Is this another subscription I'll regret in 3 months?
These are the questions we all need to be asking in this crazy streaming world.
Couldn't agree more. And it'll be fascinating to see how this Apple-Amazon thing plays out.
The price, the content. Will it actually be a good deal?
Will other companies try to copy them, or will they double down on their own exclusive stuff?
So many questions. And the answers will probably change a week from now.
That's the fun part. This landscape, it's always shifting.
But hey, at least we're in it together.
Absolutely. As viewers, we have more power than we realize.
So let's use it wisely. On that note, thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the streaming wars.
And until next time, happy watching.